Asashoryu is in the lead with 5 straight wins. He's looking for a tournament win here, which will qualify him for the rank of Yokozuna. Chairman of the Sumo Association has said if he gets at least 13 wins, he'll be promoted. Oh, this is Takanohana. He's hanging on with his wins. So apart from Asashoryu, who's in the sole lead, we have 7 wrestlers with 4 wins and 1 loss. Kotoryu, Dejima, Kaiho, Tosanumi, Takamisakari, Takanotsuru and Kasugao. But it's comparatively early days in this basho. But it seems most likely that Asashoryu will stay in the lead. I think Takanohana would have a hard time dealing with him. Well, it's not the old sparkle that we knew from the Yokozuna. He's not exactly crushing skulls under his feet when he brings his foot down onto the surface of the dohyo. So on to the first of our bouts, day 6. It's Toki lookalike, Takanotsuru, and he's fighting Tochinonada. Takanotsuru, 171 kilos, previously fought in the Judo division. You can actually see from Takanotsuru the slightly old style of tachiai. His body is more or less upright, doesn't lean forward so much, so he comes up quickly. That opens the upper body for the other wrestler to go for the belt. Well, it was Tochinonada there who overwhelmed Takanotsuru with yorikiri. Now, old timer, Gojoro had a poor performance last basho, only had 4 wins. And he's against Kobo, who fought in the Judo division last time. Well, Gojoro, heavily taped up left thigh there, leans forward, drives with the head, locks on tight to the belt. It's got that overarm grip, the Owatenagi. So we've got a battle of the underarm grip and the overarm grip. But there's an attempt from Kobo with the shitatenagi, the underarm throw, and Kobo loses his grip there. Gojoro there powering in, using the belt just to lift up and drive forward. Well, he drove Kobo over the edge there, but there's a challenge to that, challenge to the referee's call. Well, it was very close. Yeah, he said they both fell down at the same time, so they're going to have a rematch at Tori Naoshi. Well, they say these gyoji carry short knives on them so that they can commit ritual suicide in the event they make a wrong decision. Never yet seen that happen, but that's part of the tradition of sumo. Well, that was a full start. Referee probably slightly unsettled by his wrong call. Getting stricter now on the start. The fan is turned towards us, so we know that that's the start of the bout, not just one of the earlier ritual posturings. Well, Gojoro back to almost the same situation. He's got the inside grip now, the sashite as they call it, or the underarm, but it's there it's Kobo who reverses the flow of their previous bout, and he pushes Gojoro over the edge with yorikiri. Akinoshima, 149 kilos, fighting Kasugao, newcomer, just slightly heavier at 151. Jumped the gun there, and he gets admonished by the chief umpire. Almost the same start there. Akinoshima comes out, lowers his head, cracks it in on Kasugao's shoulder. Kasugao pushing the veteran back to the edge, and from the edge he retreats and spins Akinoshima over with the scoop throw. Sukuinage win there for Kasugao. Akinoshima did well in his previous basho, had 9 wins, and Kasugao is just up from the Juryo division. Kotoryu got 4 wins, just one step behind the leader, fighting Otsukasa 2. Both these wrestlers past the 30 mark, which means it's getting near retirement time for them. Some wrestlers manage to go on to their mid-30s, very few though. Well, both locked in against each other's shoulders, controlling each other's elbows as well. Then it's on to the belt hold. There's a huge lift from Kotoryu, and that pops Otsukasa over the edge. So win there with yorikiri for Kotoryu. Well, it's fairly subdued here in the Kokugikan. I think everybody's waiting for Takanohana's next bout. Sense of history in the making. Now Jumonji against Wakanoyama. Wakanoyama drives forward with his head. He always comes out low, keeps low. And it was a one-way street there for Jumonji. Straight back and out over the edge. Yorikiri win for Wakanoyama. But no prize money for him. Well, maybe it's the sort of economic times, the hard times in Japan, but there's a lot less money up for these sumo guys than there used to be. Now Shimotori against Hokutoriki. Both just under the 150 kilo mark. Not particularly overweight compared with some. Well, a fairly good start there. Head's almost cracked in, but then it's straight into the straight arm thrust to the throat and the face. Both wrestlers doing the same. There's a moment's relaxation by Shimotori, and that sends him over the edge. Hokutoriki takes that one with oshidashi, a push out. Well, sumo fans will know there are 2 main styles of sumo. Belt sumo, where you lock on, most likely to end up with a throw or a straight nudge out on the edge. And then the more open sumo, the oshi or the ski sumo, the push or the thrust sumo. And that starts to get a bit rougher. Now, Iwakiyama against Takamisakari. Iwakiyama, heavier of the two, comes out, doesn't move his head to the side, just cracks in. Takamisakari takes that, locks on tight with the overarm grip, and takes the much bigger man right to the edge. Enormous weight difference there, some 35 kilo weight difference between the two. He's a very strong wrestler, Takamisakari. If you ignore his funny movements, he's very powerful and he's very skillful. He doesn't look it, but when he locks in tight, he's got extremely strong arms. So Takamisakari now with 5 wins and 1 loss, doing very well, and Iwakiyama taking his 3rd loss. Well, here's the Yokozuna, the grand champion, coming out. Musashi Maru sitting out this one, of course. He's had a wrist operation, damaged his wrist in the previous basho. Oh, the crowd quite hushed and expectant. Tokitsuumi, 134 kilos, against Tamanoshima. Tamanoshima, very first bout in sumo, got knocked out. Got cracked on the head so hard it made him lose consciousness. Now there's a pro boxer. Probably had a few wry comments to make after that. Well, Tamanoshima manages to get round behind Tokitsuumi and forces him out with okuridashi. Well, just recently there have been quite a lot of foreigners coming into sumo. This in January there were 4 new entries into sumo, what they call shindeshi. And of that 4, 3 were foreigners, only 1 Japanese. So even some of the sumo bosses are predicting there'll be more foreigners, Mongolians, etc., in this top division than Japanese before long. Well, Dejima there, overwhelmed Kyokushuzan, Hawk Mountain, Mongolian, with yorikiri. Well, sumo's going through uncertain times in Japan. One great hero is possibly on his way out. Lots of injuries. Economic recession here, which is affecting the crowds that come in. There's all sorts of problems for them. Now we have Toki against Kotonowaka, both same weight. Kotonowaka much the taller of the two. Had a good basho last time, had 10 wins. Toki had 9 wins, so both close to each other in weight and recent performance. Well, it's Toki there, a little mark of desperation. He tried to wrap his left arm around the neck of Kotonowaka. That's more often than not a sign that they've lost it. Their weight has been floated up and all they can do is grab the head. Kotonowaka takes that one with yorikiri. Kaiho, ex-amateur champion. Takanowaka, man who's come through the ranks, having started sumo as in his mid-teens. Well, a good hard start, lots of slaps from Takanowaka. Kaiho hanging on in there, keeps his face going forward, drives forward, but then gets pushed down to the feet of Takanowaka as he floats backwards. Kaiho loses that one. Let's watch it one again. There's that big slap to the face. There's another one and a third one from Takanowaka. More attempts at rough treatment. There's 2 hands on the back of the head. Kaiho driving forward, hoping that Takanowaka would get driven over the edge before he himself bit the dust. So Hataki Komi win, a slap down for Takanowaka. See the huge tassels that hang down over the ring. That's from the hanging roof over the dohyo, the tsuriyani as it's called, the tassels, fusa, symbolize the 4 seasons. Now Kyokuten-ho, Mongolian against Kotomitsuki, Japan versus Mongolia. Kotomitsuki driving forward takes Kyokuten-ho to the edge, keeps pushing him, does that side-to-side rocking motion, and drives him over into a loss. Yorikiri win for Kotomitsuki. Well, Kotomitsuki is suffering from elbows, both very painful, stressed both of them in recent sumo. That's Takanohana getting some attention from the hairdresser. In sumo they're called Tokoyama, special name, only applicable to sumo. And these guys are attached to some of the stables, not all the stables. Oh, that's the lonely walk down the flower path to his cushion at the side of the ring. Next out we have Ozeki Musayama. He's fighting Komusubi Wakanosato. Well, Musayama comes out with quite a heavy charge. Hasn't been on form too much this basho. Previous basho was good, he had 10 wins. Wakanosato, previous basho, only had 7 wins. So there's a pretty violent start to this, and it's Wakanosato who keeps the Ozeki on the run, powers him over the edge, so that's 4th loss for Musayama, 4th win for Wakanosato. That was a vigorous match there. Wakanosato back on form, looking a bit more lively. And some little bit of money. Well, this is Tochiazuma, who's dropped out because of his injuries. Yeah, it's Tochiazuma dropping out, gets dumped on his shoulder. It looked like it was going to be a bad one, so Tochiazuma drops out, and Takanonami collects another win from Fusen Sho, as they call it. Fusen Sho, Fusen Gachi, same sort of thing. And Takanohana there assisting the oncoming wrestler, which is Asa Shoryu. Now this is Aminishiki, quite a lightweight wrestler. He's only had 1 win so far. Asa Shoryu should dispose of him fairly easily. I say that though, but Asa Shoryu has lost to lighter weight wrestlers, skillful wrestlers such as Kaiho. So a quick start. Asa Shoryu gets the overarm grip, and there's the power, just spins him over without too much trouble. The overarm throw there from Asa Shoryu, that keeps him in the lead with 6 straight wins. Let's watch that one again. Comes out, hands to the shoulder. Doesn't even go for the face and the upper body with the Tapari attacks now. There he gets the belt. Locks in tight. There's that huge surge of power. And down goes Aminishiki. And a little bit of prize money for the Ozeki. Now there's the bout that everybody's been waiting for. There's his father and stable boss, the Futogoyama Oyakata. And he watches as his son comes up to fight Tosonoumi. Tosonomi's beaten Wakanohana 4 times. Not Wakanohana, correction there, Takanohana 4 times in the past. Can he do it again? Well, virtually all the bouts we've seen of Takanohana so far have been a bit wobbly. He lost one, won 4. Not very overwhelmingly in command, and he lost 1. Now here he fights Tosonoumi. They take the water, which is to rinse the mouth, to purify the mouth, not to have a swig. Come out, they crouch down, they eyeball each other, chuck salt out, do a little bit of shiko, the foot stamp at the edge. It's all minutely laid down. Eventually the tension mounts up, and then it's ready to go time. Tosonoumi comes hard forward, and is sidestepped. Well, he won there, and he won easily, but he won in a way a Yokozuna shouldn't win. He sidestepped. Yokozuna are meant to go full on, full frontal slamming into the opponent. Well, he won, and that's that. So it's another win for Takanohana. And he looks a lot more comfortable there. Well, he might settle down. He might come through to the end and challenge Asa Shoryu, barring any upsets, for the Mongolian. And here's Asa Shoryu having his hair done in one part of the preparation room, and here's the press corps around Takanohana.